Yo, what's good, my family? It's your boy, A-Face, the Muddy Professor, and here I am, back again with another video for y'all. Hey, so today, I want to share my perception with y'all on hellfire. This is my perception. This is how I see it, how I understand it. The way it came to me. You know what I'm saying? So, to in order to get into it, I gotta explain other things first. So please bear with me for a second, because I really want y'all to understand what I'm trying to say. So, first I want to talk about the light, right? The light in the Bible, the light is always like a metaphor for for good, purity. You know what I'm saying? Righteousness, truth. The light is all of these things. It's also a metaphor, like in John, Jesus is called the light of the world. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. In the Bible, in the beginning, in Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, He said, "Let there be light." From the light came everything else. You know, the stars, the vegetation. All this stuff behind me. You know what I'm saying? Animals, people, all this stuff came after the light. Also in John, it says everything that was made through, you know, like implying it was made through Jesus. Jesus is called the light of the world. I'm just explaining a certain thing. Like the light is representation of God. In the ancients, right? A lot of times, we would see that the ancients had worshipped the sun, had a sun god. Um, the way I perceive it, you know what I'm saying, and I see that others have perceived it this way too, is that they wasn't actually worshiping the sun like as if it was God, right? The sun is like in our immediate environment, what we could see, what we know, what's tangible to us, like what has a material, what I'm saying, form. Out of all of those things, the sun is the most like closest thing to what God would be, but it isn't God. But as a symbol for us to use, that probably would be the best symbol. And that's how the ancients seen it. And this is why they would worship the sun. This is why they had a lot of, things around sun worship and stuff like that, supposedly. But I think honestly, the sun was set up as a symbol for God. Not that it was God, but it was the only thing that we could see, that we could be like, that's the closest thing to what God is. So as describing God, they would give it the attributes of the sun. It's a life giver. It brings light. Right? I'm explaining all this for a reason. Um, Another thing about light illuminates the dark. Right? Another metaphor in the Bible is darkness is evil. It's bad stuff and stuff like that. Uh, uh, People hide things in the dark, in the shadows. They hide them. Even themselves, they hide from themselves in their shadows. Right? We like to lie to ourselves. We give justifications and reasons for why we do bad things, and and but we're doing these bad things. But like we hide behind these justifications and these things. Right? That's almost like when the light, like if the light is shining on me, behind me is the shadow. It's hiding from the light behind me. This is what we do with ourselves. We hide behind ourselves in that shadow. This is why certain people talk about shadow selves and stuff, right? So a lot of times the light illuminates what's in the dark, what you can't see, what's hidden. The light does that, right? Another thing about the light, in I gotta say, in every single case that I know of, any light whatsoever is a fire at its core. Even if it's an electric light, right? The electricity is actually a fire. You know what I'm saying, going on. So at its core, the light is a fire. All fire is light, and all light is fire. You know what I'm saying? The sun is a big ball of fire. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So it has all of these attributes, and I want y'all to keep all of those attributes in mind for what I'm about to explain. On the flip side, what I was saying, like for instance, people who are unrighteous, they a lot of us, we do things that are quote unquote unrighteous, and we hide from other people. We hide those things, right? Because we're ashamed. We're ashamed, and if these people found out, we would be we would be embarrassed or whatever it is. We're feel ashamed of ourselves. So in those situations, morning. Good morning. I lost my train of thought. Okay, okay, a lot of times we hide our bad stuff. We don't want nobody to see it. We hide it. We put it in a dark place. But when that light shines on it, that light illuminates those things, we feel bad about it. In those moments, that's like the fire. That's the fire right there that's burning us. You know what I'm saying? That is the hellfire. The same light, the light that's truth, that's goodness and all that. That same light, when it shines on somebody who is quote unquote righteous, it illuminates. It they shine. You know the term? They shine. They reflect that light. They hold that light. You understand? And the light shines from within them. You know what I mean? That's a righteous person. The light glorifies them in a lot of situations. And the unrighteous, the Bible only speaks about the unrighteous feeling the torment of the hellfire. It's the same light, it's the same goodness, right? But when it shines on the unrighteous, it exposes them. It exposes their what they hide in the dark. You understand? And even to themselves. Because many times, like you heard the term the truth hurts. Many times like you tell the truth to somebody who's, doing something, wrong or whatever. They know what they doing. They don't want to see that. They don't want to hear that. A lot of times they don't want to hear it. They'll fight you. They'll become defensive. You know, they'll shoot back at you. Oh, you do this though. Da, da, da. They'll justify what they doing, right? But never like really admitting that what they doing is wrong. Never outward admitting it. This is why Paul has said it is important for us to outwardly confess our sins. Not that we have to confess them to somebody else, but just to say them out loud that we hear them. We're the witness. You understand? So when we hear them, it's like we're owning that. That's the first step in changing, because you will always feel the fire, the hellfire. If you ever have any secrets, anything hidden, anything, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're ashamed to like, if you gotta hide it from anybody at all for any reason, you it's some type of shame behind it, some type of guilt, whatever. And whenever that gets exposed to whoever these people that we're hiding from, we feel that fire. We feel that fire. That's the hellfire, right? And the only way not to feel that is to change. It's to change who you are within. Because when you start to align with the one who is within, you know what I'm saying? The one who is within is God. And when you start to align with that one, you know what I'm saying? Then when that light shines on you, you're glorified. Instead of being in shame and in guilt, you're in pride. You know what I'm saying? But not in a sinful pride, but more like a pride like you're somebody. When that light shines, yes, this is a good man. This right here is a good man. You know what I'm saying? Look, he has the light. He has the light. He shines. You know what I'm saying? That the light and the fire of hell is the same thing. Now I'm gonna go into with a story from the Bible that I feel is metaphorically relates to exactly what I'm saying. It's a story about three dudes, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I know those are funny names. It's funny because I knew these names since a little kid, and I always remember these names. I could meet somebody today, right? His name could be Jake or Andrew or something, and I won't remember this person's name, but I remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Anyway, long time ago in Babylon, the Jews had got taken to Babylon by the Babylonians. King Nebuchadnezzar, had took the smartest, most handsome, most healthy, what I'm saying, Jewish boys, and he put them as his advisors in his top, in his court. Like they was the top officials, part of his officials. Anyway, King Nebuchadnezzar had this statue, this image made, and he wanted his whole all his officials to when they hear the sound of a horn to bow to this statue, right? And if they didn't, he threatened them by, to throw them into a furnace, into the fire. So these three men, these three Jewish men did not bow. They was like, no, we ain't bowing. We serve the Most High. We don't bow to nothing but the Most High. So word got back to Nebuchadnezzar, they not bowing. So he gave them more opportunity with threats. Like, yo, listen, bow, but they didn't. So he was so upset that he made the furnace that he had to burn people. He made it 7 times hotter, right? Had them gripped up, took some soldiers to throw them into the furnace. The fire was so hot that the soldiers that threw them in burned and died. That's how hot the fire was, right? So they get thrown into the fire. After a little while, Nebuchadnezzar looks into the fire and he asks one of his people, "Yo, didn't we throw 3 dudes in there?" And they like, "Yeah." And he's like, "But I see 4." And he said one of them looked like a son of God. And he's like, they walking around in it. They not even burned. They good. So boom, like he calls them out, like, yo, come out here, you know what I'm saying? And then he recognizes they God. He's like, yo, I see that you do serve the Most High. Anybody who speaks bad about your God, that I'm gonna have them rip limb from limb. Boom, boom, right? So anyway, let me get into why I feel like this story is metaphoric to what I'm saying. The fire, the fire was meant to burn these dudes up. You know what I'm saying? But they was righteous. They was righteous, right? And when they got thrown into the fire, actually the ones who were throwing them into got burned up because they weren't righteous. They got burned by this fire. You understand? That was the hellfire, right? They got killed themselves trying to do these 3 men harm. Anyway, they get thrown into the fire, but since they're righteous, since they walk with God, listen, they were in the fire. There was a 4th in it, right? The 4th, in my view, represents God. They were walking with God in the light. For them, the fire wasn't a fire, it was the light, and it glorified them. So much so that the king who actually, had them thrown in, he was like, whoa, he recognized the glory. Not so much of these men, but of their God who they walk with in the light. You understand? And the ones who were supposedly the righteous ones or whatever, the ones throwing them into this fire, they actually were the ones who got burned up because they were not righteous. The same fire that glorified these 3 men burned up the unrighteous. This is my point. This is what hellfire is. And that light shines on everybody. Because that is what the ancients once again called the all-seeing eye, whatever. That the sun shines on all. The Bible says the sun shines on the righteous and unrighteous alike. This, and I'm not saying the sun is God, but that is the symbol of the light. God sees all of us, and when God's light shines on us, that eye, that spotlight comes on us, there's nothing we can hide. Everything is there in the light, exposed. So when that light come to you, do you have something that you don't want everybody to see? Cut it off. Cut it off. This is what Jesus is saying. Your right hand offends you, cut it off. And it don't mean literally cut your hand off. Cut, excuse me. Cut that thing off that you doing. You don't want nobody to see it. Don't try to hide it because you can't hide it from the Most High. You can't hide it. You can't hide it from you. I mean, in a lot of ways you can, but, in the end, everything in the dark, everything in the dark comes to the light. You know what I'm saying? What happens when that light shines on you? What or What are we gonna see? What is everyone gonna see when that light is on you and you can't hide nothing? Think about it. Anyway, this is your boy, A.Face, the Muddy Professor, and I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Peace.